Welcome back to The Art of Not Knowing. This channel is not about collecting advice. It is about staying with an idea long enough until it stops being a thought and starts becoming a behavior. Today, we are going to talk about discipline. Everyone knows discipline is important. Everyone agrees that without discipline, nothing meaningful is built. And yet, most people try for a few days and then quietly stop. Not because they are lazy, not because they are weak, but because they misunderstand what discipline actually is. Let me tell you a story, not of a successful person, not of someone extraordinary, just someone ordinary. When Raghav was a child, he used to watch adults closely. He noticed something strange. They talked confidently about life, about habits, about success. They said things like, consistency is everything. Hard work always pays off. Discipline separates winners from losers. Raghav believed them. He believed that when he grew up, discipline would come naturally, that one day he would just decide and everything would fall into place. As a child, Raghav struggled with small things. Waking up early felt difficult. Finishing homework felt heavy. Practicing anything felt boring, but nobody worried. People said, he's young, he'll learn. And Raghav himself thought, this will get easier when I'm older. One thing always stayed in his mind, watching babies learn to walk. They didn't read books, they didn't set goals, they didn't know what discipline was. They stood up, they fell, they cried, and then they stood up again. No one clapped for the first few attempts. No one praised them for trying. They still kept going. At some point, without announcing it, they walked. And then they ran. Raghav never questioned this as a child. As an adult, he forgot it completely. Years passed. Raghav grew up. Like everyone else, he decided to fix his life many times. Every attempt started with clarity. He would say, from tomorrow, I will be disciplined. He joined a gym, woke up early for 3 days, felt proud. On the 4th day, his body resisted. This is too hard for me. He skipped 1 day, then another. Soon, the gym card stayed in his wallet like a reminder of good intentions. Next came learning. He decided to read every day. The first week felt powerful. Books, notes, quotes. He felt intelligent. Then one evening, after work, he opened a book, and nothing entered his mind. I just can't do this today. He closed the book. One missed day became many. Then came work. He wanted to improve his skills. He planned schedules, watched videos, felt motivated for a while. Then progress slowed. Results didn't show. Others seemed ahead. Maybe this isn't for me. He stopped quietly. What Raghav never noticed was this pattern. He did not stop when things were impossible. He stopped when things became ordinary, when effort stopped giving immediate reward. Around him, people spoke confidently. Friends gave advice. You need more motivation. You need discipline. You need to push harder. Raghav nodded. He agreed with all of it. He just couldn't live it. One day, something small happened. Raghav was sitting with his niece, Arohi. She was learning to write letters. Her notebook was messy, lines crooked, letters uneven. She erased again and again. At one point she said, "This is really hard." Raghav smiled. He said softly, "Just keep trying." She tried again. Still wrong. She sighed, then tried again. No motivation, no speech. No plan, just repetition. Raghav noticed something uncomfortable. She was not disciplined. She was not motivated. She was simply continuing, without understanding, without confidence, without proof. That night, Raghav thought deeply. Why did discipline feel heavy to him, but natural to a child? Why did adults need motivation for what children did instinctively? The answer was uncomfortable. As adults, we expect certainty before effort. Children expect nothing. They fall without interpreting it as failure. Adults fall and conclude something about themselves. I'm not disciplined. This is not for me. I always quit. Children don't label themselves. They just continue. Raghav realized something painful. He was stopping not because he couldn't do the work. He was stopping because he was watching himself too closely. Every day he asked, "Is this working? Am I improving? Is this worth it?" That constant evaluation drained him. Children don't evaluate, they repeat. He decided to try something different. No big announcement, no promises, no timeline. He chose one small thing: walking, every day. No distance goal, no speed goal, just walking. The first few days felt pointless. Nothing changed, no transformation, no excitement. This doesn't feel right. He kept walking. After a week, something strange happened. Walking didn't feel special. It felt normal. That scared him, because earlier, when excitement ended, he would stop. This time, he noticed the urge and continued anyway. Weeks passed. Raghav didn't feel disciplined. He didn't feel proud. He just kept going. Some days slowly, some days distracted. But he didn't stop. Then one morning, he realized something. He hadn't asked, "Is this working?" For many days. Walking had become part of his life, not because of discipline, because of repetition. This changed everything. He applied the same idea elsewhere. Reading, not pages, not chapters, just sitting with a book. Some days reading one paragraph, still continuing. Learning, not mastering, not improving fast, just showing up. Continuing through boredom, through doubt, through "this feels pointless." Slowly, quietly, without announcement, his life began to change. Not dramatically, but deeply. Raghav noticed something important. There was a moment when "this is too hard" turned into "this is actually working." That moment felt good, dangerously good, because earlier, this was where he stopped. Satisfied. This time, he didn't stop. He kept doing. Even after knowing he could. Even after confidence arrived. Even after improvement. That's when he understood discipline. Discipline is not starting. Discipline is not motivation. Discipline is not intensity. Discipline is continuing after the mind loses interest. After excitement fades. After identity is no longer involved. Discipline is doing something without needing to feel special about it. Just like walking. Just like breathing. Most people stop too early. Some stop when it feels hard. Some stop when it starts working. Very few continue beyond both. That is why discipline looks rare, not because it is hard, but because it is boring, quiet, uncelebrated. This is why advice doesn't work, because advice explains the destination. But discipline lives in repetition. When a child learns to walk, no one asks, "Are you motivated today?" They just expect continuation. Adults expect feelings. Children expect action. This channel exists to remind you of this. You already know discipline matters. The question is not knowledge. The question is practice. If today you feel this is too hard, continue. If tomorrow you feel this is actually working, continue. If someday you feel confident, continue. If someday you feel empty, continue. Not because you are disciplined, but because you are willing to keep doing without needing reassurance. That is the art of not knowing. Not knowing when results will come. Not knowing when confidence will appear. Not knowing when things will feel right. And still continuing. If this felt familiar, reflect honestly. Where did you stop last time? When it felt hard, or when it started working? And if you're willing, share your reflection in the comments. Not to impress, not to motivate others, but to notice yourself. This is the art of not knowing. We listen. We repeat. Until action changes.